Welcome to P.A.B Photoshop tutorial. In this video, we'll be learning about the workspace of a Photoshop. As we discussed earlier, after creating your new document, let's say this is 5 by 5 inches. Then Photoshop opens its workspace for you. This is where you can start designing or creating your designing as the way you want. So in this video, we will be walking through the various functions of Photoshop, every tool, every panel, every option, how it works, and so on and so forth. So first of all, we'll be starting here. Anytime you launch a Photoshop, you may see this PS symbol stand for Photoshop. That's the shortcut or the symbol for Photoshop. That is PS here, as you can see. So when I click on it, it will give us an option that we should restore, we should minimize. So when I minimize it, it goes down, so I can bring it up again. When I press the close or Alt F4, then Photoshop will close and you need to reopen it again. So that is the application launcher. The PS is application launcher. From file to the help level, we call it menu bar. This menu bar contains a lot of options under it. For instance, when I click on the file, it gives me the option under it or the context menu. So we have the menu, we have the new, as in creating a new file. We have the open, or the shortcut is Ctrl O. This is where you want to open an image or anything from your machine. So when I click on anything and choose open, then it will open it for me. So let me close this one. So there are a lot of options under the file menu, and we'll be going through one by one in the next video. So we have edit menu. When you go it, we have undo, step forward, step backward, and so on and so forth. We have image, we have layer, and so on and so forth. So all this from the file up to the up to the help, we call all of it menu bar, option bar. So you can see some line here. So let me come with this. So this is the option bar we can see. Now this option bar, what it does is any tool you choose, it comes along with its options, how you can operate about the tool you have chosen. For instance, this is my move tool. So you can see like a plus symbol sign here, the same symbol is here, and then each option we have auto select, show transform, and so on and so forth. So when I change it to a different, this is artwork tool, you see it has changed, the option bar has changed. So this option bar comes along with any tool that you choose, it comes along. So you see we have the tool, so the tool is indicating here, and then we have 8 options under it. I can choose another one called lasso tool. Let me choose the lasso tool. You see it comes along with its option bar. So let me choose my move tool again, and then move.
Guess who?
The next line here is indicating the window title or the document title. So this is my document title here. So let me check from here. Let me count down here and choose document dimension. We have 5 by 5 inches, 5 by 5 inches. So this white space that we are seeing here is telling us that we have titled this white space called document title. For instance, I can create a new one and then name it trial 1. Press OK. Then see the name will be giving me trial 1. Because this one I didn't name it, Photoshop will automatically give me a name, untitled 1. So when I create a new one without giving a title, it will give me the untitled 2. The moment the more you open it without naming it, then it will be giving you untitled 2, untitled 3, untitled 4, and so on and so forth. Now let's come to the next line. We have, as we can see, from this 3 to 1, 0, 1, and so on and so forth, is called a ruler. This is a ruler. This is a unit of measurement. As time goes on, you will be tackling about it. So we have the horizontal ruler and then a vertical ruler here. I can disable this by pressing Ctrl R. So I have disabled the ruler here. Now on my right hand side, as we can see here, this is our 2 panel. Now this 2 panel contains every tool we use to create a design, or you use to create anything you want in Photoshop. You cannot ignore or you cannot skip from this toolbar. So this is what we term as the toolbar. We have everything you need about designing can be located from this toolbar. So let me take it back to where it was. On the option bar to here, on our right hand side of the option bar, we have the first button to be search button. Says search for tools, tutorials, and Adobe stock. So here, imagine you can locate any tool. You can locate the tool you are looking for here. You can just come to this search button here, and then you'll be typing the name, and Photoshop will automatically select the tool for you. So let me press the search button, and then it says I should search. So if I type all, it will search for everything I search. If I type Photoshop, the same thing. So let me type, let's say, move to. Now it has given to me move to. So when I select, it has automatically select for me. So let me try another one. The shortcut is Ctrl F. Okay, so I can search a different tool. Let's say lasso 2, lasso 2. Then Photoshop has search for me. So when I click on it, you see a blue line here indicating that you have selected that tool. So you can explore it by yourself. Any tool that you want, you can search from the search to search for tools here. Then moving on to the one we have, this one is giving us a workspace of the Photoshop, a workspace of the Photoshop. So Photoshop has automatically saved some working space for us. We have the essential, which is at the same as how you create your workspace for the first time. We can move on to the next one, is 3D. This is where we want to create a 3D. Photoshop will just select some tools or panel for you that will be easier for you when you are creating a 3D file or a 3D item. We have graphic and web, so on and so forth. So in our tutorial, for instance, you choose, because you've selected this is untitled 1, it will open for us as we opened it for the first time. Now coming to on the right hand side here, as you can see layers, character, paragraph, and so on and so forth. So all these things here, we call it panels. All of those things that you are seeing on your right hand side of your working space, we call it panels. All these things are called panels, and these panels can be located at going to Windows, then starting from 3D down to 2 presets. They are all panels. So how you can name it is you just use the first name here, then you add panel to it. So this one is layers panel, character panel, properties panel, channels panel, action panel, and so on and so forth. The function of this panel is it helps us for you to create your design. It helps you to manipulate your design in a simple way. So it helps you to format your design. If you want to color it, if you want to add a text, if you want to do all sort of things, this panel will help you. And each panel has its effect or its functions. For instance, this is my layer panel. This double arrow here to expand this panel. For instance, when I click on it, then it will open the layer panel for me. So this is my background layer and it is colored white. That's what you can see here. So if you want to open this, you just click on the double arrow, then it will expand. If you want to remove it, or if you want to close the layer panel, just log on to this X button, then it will vanish. So the same thing applies to all. When I press the X, it will vanish. And see, looking at this one, you can see we have action, we have channels, we have properties. All of them have been grouped together. All of them have been grouped as one. So when I click the double arrow, it will expand everything. When I click the double arrow, it will expand, where I can locate my properties, my channel, or my action. Because the three of them are grouped as one, when I take the times, all of them will vanish. Now if I want to locate the layers panel, I just closed, and then the character and so on and so forth, I just closed. If I want to locate them again, or what I will do is I will log in to come to Windows, browse through to see my layers here, and then the shortcut is F7. So instead of me coming to file, layers, I can simply type, just press F7 on your keyboard. It will activate the layer panel for me. So if I close all these things, paragraph, graphs, color, learn, brush setting, and so on and so on, I just close them. I can come to window, there we were having color, so I can choose my color back, and then Photoshop has brought me all the layer panel, all the panels I just closed. We'll be going through all this panel one after the other as soon as we start designing our project. So still stick around, you go through everything for you to see. Coming to the down here, when I click on this arrow here, it is showing me we have document sizes, document profile, and so on and so forth. So I can choose any one of it, and it is giving that the 5 by 5 inches I'm working on it, the document size is 6.4 megabytes. So I can choose another one, document profile. So this one is telling me we are working on RGB color mode, and you can see RGB color mode giving me is 8 bits per channel. 8 bits per channel. You can see 8 hash here, meaning 8 bits per channel. So I can choose another one, document dimension. This is what I used to choose, document dimension, so that I may know that I'm working in 5 by 5 inches, and then my resolution is 300 pixel per inch. PPI means pixel per inch. As time goes on, you will get to understand all of this. So when I come to image sizes, you can see I have my 5 by 5 inches here. The same thing is here. I have 300 pixels here, and the same 300 pixel is here. Now panels can be grouped, or you can separate them one by one, or the way you want it. So you see all this our panel has scattered in our space, and it will be we will find it difficult when we are designing. So one thing we used to do is you can group all your panels, or you can arrange your panels as the way you want it. For instance, I can add this action panel to my properties panel. So if I want to move it, simply hold down, click and hold, and then move it. So right now I want to group all my layers, all my panels. So what I will do is I will just click on my action panel and drag it to my properties panel. The moment you see this blue light, it is telling you that now you can add the action panel to the properties panel, and it will stock. So right now the two of them have become one. So right now I can move the two. Let me take the glass and then move it to the action panel. The three has become one. So anytime you see blue light, it is telling that panel can be stuck there. For instance, when I move this action panel to my two panel here, as I'm still moving, you see a blue line. It means this action panel can stock on our two panel here. So when I leave it will stock. The same thing applies to all of this. When I move and I see the blue line, it can stock here. So all depends on how you arrange there. So let's remove this one and go to our top here. We did not see the blue line, so it means it can't stock, but rather it will be floating on the space, on our workspace, or on our working document area. So if you want to stock it, just indicate it to where the blue light, where you see the blue light, as you can see here, and it will stop. As you can see, then it will stop. So let me take everything and add it to here. Assuming you have opened a lot of documents and then you want to close one, this is, for instance, this is my untitled 2. If I want to close it, or what I can do is I will just click this times here and then it will close. Now Photoshop is asking me, do I want to save this document, or I should leave it? If I want to save, I can say yes. Then it will ask me to provide a name for it. Let me cancel this one. So we want to change this untitled 2 to, let's say, trial 2. How we can do is when I choose file, save, then Photoshop will ask me the file name. Here I can just change the name and then let me say trial 2 before I can get the name from here, but rather it has saved into your folder. So when you see that the name you give it to your document title is not proper, just ignore. You just concentrate on your design, and when you're about to save, you can change the file name from it. So if I want to close this one, I can just times and then it will close. So let's explore in some of the two panels so that you can get more insight about what we are learning. Sorry. So I'll just press my F7 to see my layer. Now the function of this layer, what it does is everything you do on your working space, on your window, it will appear here. So let me open my layer here. Anytime you open or you create a workspace for the first time, you may see this icon here indicating this white space, or this your working space has logged. So right now, if I want to move it, Photoshop will tell me the current selected layer is background layer. You cannot move a background layer or change its stacking order. So if I want to move it, says convert to normal layer. When I click this, then I can move it to whatever I want. And as you can see, the moment I choose convert to normal layer, then the lock icon too will move. Let me undo it by pressing Ctrl Z. I can just unlock from here. Now I can move it wherever I want. Now anytime you are designing, the moment you open your new space, what it means is any design you do should fall under this white space area. For instance, right now if I draw my circle here, let me give it a different color so that you can see. So any design I do should fall within this white space. If I drag it to my left, you see you can't see the other side. The bounding box is telling us that the circle you have drawn is from here to here, but because you have shifted it to our left hand side, we cannot see from here to here, but rather just here to here. So when we print our artwork, this is only, or when you save our artwork, this is only the area we can see. So anytime you are designing, make sure your design fall within the document size you created or you create. Anything beyond, even when I just draw from here, there's nothing you can see from here, but rather when we look into our layer, onto our layer, we have ellipse 2, which means we have drawn our ellipse 2. This is our ellipse 1 and this is our ellipse 2, but we cannot find it unless we drag it. Hold the control and then drag it to here. Let me delete this one, or let me solve. So anything we do, you can see from the layer. So when I draw a different, this is my right angle. When I draw a right angle, and then let me change the color to a different color. You see the blue color or the violet or the purple color we draw, you can see it is a purple. The yellow, you can see the yellow color here. So the layer panel helps us for you to know anything you have done. Assuming you are looking for, let's see, something you just created, for instance, you cannot find, since you can't find this small circle you draw, you can locate it on your panel, on your layer. Then it will select, indicating that we have hide our ellipse at the back of this circle. So I can bring it out by holding the control and then dragging my mouse. That's it. As time goes on, you'll be exploring more for you to get more understanding about it. So that is that for our working space. So after creating your space or your document, Photoshop will open for you. Then you can go through to see your panels, to use your tools, and so on and so forth. Anything you do must fall within the working space or the document space you have created. Thank you, and make sure you subscribe to my channel, P.A.B. Design. Thank you.